Hello everyone, JS Minis here, and today I'm diving into the whimsical world of Pathfinder 2e with a request from DnDeku. I'm bringing to life Wish, a small poppet with a big secret. She's awakened, thanks to a mysterious blue comet. This isn't your average doll. She's gained consciousness and some pretty impressive psychic powers, telekinesis, mind speech, the whole 9 yards. DnDeku has provided a description, and I've done a rough sketch to work from that I'll put up on the screen. Always start with an armature when sculpting figures. I'm using 28 gauge copper wire here because it's softer than my steel wire and so easier to make something smaller like this. For the most part, this is going to be a fairly standard armature, but I'm having the anchor to the base come out of the back of the head, then down below, so that her body looks more dangly as it floats above the base itself. I'm using Fimo Professional for this, which I've conditioned a little to get it more workable. Now, sculpting a poppet presents some unique challenges. I want to capture that delicate, almost fragile feeling while still hinting at the powerful psychic energy within. I'm starting with the basic form here, focusing on her small stature. The dress will come after I've baked the body, and I'll be making it out of tissue paper. You may have noticed a pattern for the dress on the sketch I posted, and those striped socks a crucial detail. Wish's face is described as inexpensive, which I interpret as simple and perhaps a little worn. We're not going for high-fashion doll here, but something more lived in. The head will be proportionately larger, but I'm building it up in layers. I bake the first layer, sometimes add a second layer to bulk out the back of the head, bake those hard, then add a third layer for the face. This approach means I can press those details into the face without deforming the whole head, and vice versa. Using pressure to shape the head doesn't deform the details of the face. Layers. I'm adding some pearlescent white paint here to the body to give the impression of a porcelain doll. I suppose Wish could have been a rag doll as well, or perhaps started as a rag doll, but I imagine her becoming something more with her psychic powers, and how that might manifest in small ways, like now having porcelain-like material. And those striped socks a crucial detail. I redrew that dress pattern from the concept sketch onto some tissue paper, much like one does with patterns for actual dresses with fabric. Only in this case, I'm using the actual tissue paper for the dress itself. I use varnish to make the dress parts stick to the body, and in places where seams would be to make the bits of the dress stick to each other. First, the front and back of the bodice, the left and right sleeves quite short, and lastly the two parts forming the skirt. I wound up redoing the piece for the back of the skirt to make it as wide as the front part. I think the pattern I was copying was for a skirt. It was meant to hang down straighter and tighter to the legs, whereas I'm going for a more playful skirt that sticks out a bit. I do sculpt hair out of clay sometimes, but there's something about using cotton that I just personally really like. I think it's just that mixing different materials to make a mini results in something that clearly looks so much more handmade, even if it gets a little sloppy. As with the dress, I'm using a paintbrush and varnish to stick the hair onto the head. I'll trim it a bit with tiny scissors if it needs it after the varnish has dried. And I'm just using watercolors here to color the hair. If I apply it before the varnish is dried, the cotton will soak up the watercolor paint nice and evenly. If you want to add highlights and stuff to cotton hair, you need to wait for the varnish to dry into the cotton. Otherwise, the cotton just sucks in the paint, making it spread out instead of giving it those nice crisp details. Her messy brunette hair adds to her unique personality. It's not perfectly styled, which makes her feel more real, more adventurous. I imagine her hair getting tousled as she uses her telekinesis, flinging herself around with unseen force. What kind of adventures does a psychic poppet go on? Does she solve mysteries with her mind? Does she protect the innocent with telekinetic blasts? I'd love to hear your theories in the comments below. And here she is, Wish the Psychic Poppet, ready for adventure. DnDeku, I hope you love her. I had a blast bringing this unique character to life. What do you think, everyone? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in requesting your own custom miniature, just leave a comment below or check out the links in the description to my email. Thanks for watching and happy sculpting.